Hello! Keep stream. Hello, Reloaded. Hello, Reggie. Welcome, welcome. I've been on a big City Pop kick for over a year now, I feel like. To the point where I am now one of those guys who's like importing vinyl from Japan. Within reason. It's another expensive hobby that I can't dedicate a ton of funding to. To be honest. So I'm currently waiting on, because the way I have my keyboard hobby money structured right now is kind of like quarterly. And I'm trying to hold myself to that rather than, say, borrowing from next quarter's hobby money. So I am waiting for it to refresh in April before diving into more hobby things. So I feel like if I give myself that permission to borrow against next quarter's hobby money, that's a slippery slope for me. So trying to be responsible. You're lurking between me and Shark. Hey, that's great. I wish I could. I had already promoted this, so I wish I could be watching Shark stream right now. I should actually still do have Shark pulled up on my phone just to juice the numbers a little bit for Shark, as we say. So, how's everybody doing? The Osume stands? Yes, I have 3 of them back here. And 2 more up on a shelf up here. They work really well. I don't keep a ton of stuff out right now. I mean, there's a few things, some of which were things that like didn't come with a case. So they're just kind of chilling. But oh, thank you. I think they look neat too. Most of my boards have gone back into case storage just to, for protection. I have a 6-year-old who doesn't understand how her body is growing and likes to run everywhere. So it's kind of important to keep things maybe more safely ensconced and at ground level under something else, potentially. That's part of it. Also, just it helps keep them clean. Yeah, I don't particularly want anything falling off the floor. Although the stands are pretty stable. I have been keeping an eye on those. I think it's a seller on Etsy. It's also on Instagram, but whalebone stands that look really cool as well. I can't remember what the material is, but he actually like prints them. But they're really cool and fairly solid from what I've seen in the reviews I've seen. But I don't need more stands currently. Although I have another big stack of boards right down here that are the ones that I need to get rid of. So once that's cleared out, there'll be more space. We're also making a grand return to the 3 camera setup. We're trying to. So we got the face cam, desk cam, shoulder cam, which hasn't been seen for a bit. Well, not all 3. I use this one. Sometimes when I'm lazy and don't want to set up my C-stand, I've set this one up. But I wanted to try going back to all 3. It's just kind of a hassle to kind of set back up, because I do tear it down after streams just so that my office isn't a cluttered disaster. It gives me a little, because like even out of my peripheral vision, like having a tripod right here with a camera on it, a C-stand with another camera on it, I've got lights, like the whole thing is just kind of like, I feel like I'm in a cave a little bit with the claustrophobe feelings. So I do tear that up. What are we using for the shoulder cam? The shoulder cam is my Fuji X-T5. So that is my photography camera. But I'm just trying it out over here. Chris, you want shoulder cam? You should. It is, it takes up a lot of space. unfortunately, because it's on a tripod next to the C stand with the overhead cam on it. But I'm not rich like Jim. Okay, rich. Listen, this is like my one hobby. Well, that's not true. My other hobbies are like in things that I can enjoy that I've already invested in. Like cycling and Dungeons and Dragons and tabletop role playing. I don't video game as much as I used to. That was another big money sink, but it's so sharp. It is very nice. Need to get a 35mm lens for my camera. What was I gonna say? Something about lenses. What I'm using on here right now is actually the kit lens, the 18 to 55mm Fuji kit lens. It is out at 35 millimeters right now. That is the focal length currently, because that works out. I love the longer focal lengths and how they flatten out perspective. Using 85 at the moment. Ooh, I've got my eyes on an 85 as well. Only rich in plastics. Turn that plastic into money. Sounds like a get-rich-quick scheme. Speaking of plastic, we're going to be looking at some plastic today. Gorp came in actually the same day that Windbreaker did, but I just haven't, had the time to crack into it yet because we've been working on other stuff. Including, I wanted to see how it looks at this angle. Last looks, folks. Enjoy. Enjoy last looks at the Stratum. This bad boy, I redid it in GMK Expo for a couple more picks. Someone in Max Voltar's Discord was actually asking how Expo would look on the Stratum, and since I still have it, I decided to indulge them. You'll also have to let me know. I moved my mic again. You'll have to let me know how it is. Because I realized, rewatching last stream, because I had it over here, and whenever I would lean or turn slightly, it was like too much. So I've repositioned it, pointed kind of at the middle of my chest, and then hopefully it will also pick up enough keyboard sound. Sounds good? Cool. Excellent. Good. So yes, the Stratum. I will be packing this up tomorrow and sending it on to Jay at Prototypist. He'll be next in the queue for a Stratum. Although I know Apiary is building hers right now, if I'm not mistaken. I was watching some of her stream earlier. She got to drive right over to Neflock's house and get it, which was pretty cool. So I think she has all the weights and like all the tops and everything as well, which is fun to see. Excellent. So yeah, very cool. I like the orange flex bricks with the orange accents. I mean, it's easy to cheat with Expo, I feel like, because it kind of goes with so much. With all these different, color accents. The blue in here ties in with the blue in here. The silver ties in with the silver. The silveriness of the basalt blue. And, of course, our nice little raw aluminum artisan friend that I barely was able to get out of, I think this was Space Cables was responsible for this. RIP. Anyway. But speaking of Omnitype stuff, because this is an Omnitype set, we're going to look at an Omnitype set, as I mentioned, by the excellent Extra Prius, please. A 10 stream streak. Thank you, Elquan. Glad to have you here. So yes, this feels kind of lumpy to me. I wonder how messed up this set got. Gorp, which stands for Good Old Raisins and Peanuts, aka Trail Mix. A set themed after Gorp Core outdoor wear, a specific Arc'teryx jacket, specifically, if I'm not mistaken. And Evan's a great guy. He built this for me. He endured the trials and tribulations of dual O-ring to build this for me. And his streams are just so super chill, and he's a very nice guy. So I was very excited to buy this. The extras, I think, just went live yesterday and are almost sold out entirely. Let me look. Let's see. Let's make sure that this is not doing anything it shouldn't. Okay. Gorp. So there were a number of kits. Standard, Alt Alphas, Novelty Edition. Yeah, so only the base and the 40s kits are left, which is wild. It went super fast. Granted, I don't know how many extras they had on hand, but I knew a lot of people were jonesing for it in various Discords, and so they were ready, finger on the trigger. So I got the base kit. Oh, is it going to load? I got the base kit, like you do. I got the Alt Alphas, and I got the novelties. That's all I went for, specifically. But what up, Masters? Welcome. We haven't opened Gorp yet. We're just yapping about it right now. So what I want to do is I think I want to open it up, check it out, and then maybe put it on the F1, because that was kind of the thought before. You have the edition and the 40s. Did you get the full shebang? Good job. I've never gone all in on anything except for DCS UFO. It's the only... I mean, I guess if it's a base kit only, I've done that. But together we complete it. Our powers combine. Oh, no, that's it. I don't get novelties or all alphas. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so DCS UFO is the only thing I've ever gone all in on before. Let me crack these. So all of the novelties are UV printed. And they're just this really fun illustration style Evan uses in all of his stuff. I believe it's his buddy Gary who does all of these. So they've been for stickers he's had in the past, as well as like all his streaming graphics and stuff. Use this kind of style. The desk pads use this style. It's just very cute, very fun. Little doodles. We got our little Gorps. I love Gorp. We got little bags of trail mix. We got our Gorp down here. We got carabiners, s'mores, climbing gear, little hiking trail signs, all sorts of fun stuff. So I'm excited about that. So let's see. So yeah, if I didn't say it before, the plan, let's take a look at this, maybe slap it on the F1, and then do a little soldering practice. My first time soldering in front of other people, and so we're going to see how that kind of goes. So I may need a quick break to actually get the soldering stuff set up, which is next to me, but I need to make space for it and everything. All right. Oh, geez Louise. We are wedged. Our lovely card. Gorp. With the hologram. Yep. It's genuine GMK. We are assured of that. This is the most I wasn't gonna gamble on this because I could feel that it was scrambled to hell, so I wouldn't do that to anybody. But goodness sakes, I don't know that I've ever seen one this bad. I'm wondering, there may not even be a point in reorganizing it since I'm going to put it on a board. Um, but I love these colors. I love the teals and blues. I think I wanna find something in this range. Something in the sageier green range. I'm not sure about, like, more saturated probably, but something to eventually put this on. I had my eyes on the Shy 60. I've also got my eyes on like the Juna, which will be vended by Bowl coming up as a potential candidate. But second tray, immaculate. I bet this would also look really good though on the. Now I'm thinking. With all of these artisans. I don't know if there's enough, though. I thought about actually the Class 413 would also be nice because it has the beige exterior, but... You want Juna? Yeah. Did I get this from Omnitype? Yes, I did get this from Omnitype. And also, I mean, speaking of Omnitype, again, I think tomorrow is the last day for the Float 65, if that's something people are interested in as well. And then this is the Alt Alphas. This feels like it might actually be okay. I can't remember when the June is supposed to run. I've already got 2 keyboards coming from Bowl pretty soon, I think. They got in early on the Pangea Mini Round 2. And the Manta. Alex was showing off the production Mantas yesterday. And they look so good. Did you get to see the one you were asking about, Masters? I can't remember. The sealed... aluminum and brass colorway, or copper. Which one was that? I can't remember the name of it. Wow. So these are definitely on the warmer beige side. Pumice. Yes, thank you, pumice. I got a machinist one myself, and it looked so nice. I'm really excited to see how it will patina. My plan when it comes in is to build it with SA X-Wing, because I think with all the colors going on there, the kind of distressed nature of Rebel fighter craft in those movies, like everything's just beat to hell. I think it'll look really cool over time. I mean, it'll look cool right away, but it'll especially look cool over time. There's the 8. That's the ASD. There's, oh, I forgot why. Anyway, so that's got to be fairly soon. I think they're all the US orders are on their way to Bowl right now. And I think Pangea was supposed to arrive either yesterday or today, and then he was going to try to get as many of them shipped out as he could before going on a trip. So, and I'll be going on a trip pretty soon too. I've got some work stuff coming up. ASDF that I will need to wrap my head around. E and M. Don't need this right now. But these are beautiful, and they look very much like the renders. I mean, you know, you can only do so much as far as like setting your expectations for how it's going to look in real life based on whatever artistic choices the renderer made, as well as screen calibration, lighting, all that kind of stuff. But I think it is quite nice. There's Al. True to what I expected. There we go. So let's just see what we think looks better on the F1. The normal alphas or the alt alphas. So let's take it out and see what we think before we dig in. Hello, Fetty. GMK should make your packaging 3-tiered by default so I can fit the child kits and keep my boxes. Yeah. Agreed. Music is a bop. Thank you. This is Miki Matsubara, who had really only listened to Pocket Park and a couple of her other things. So this is fun. This album's called Wink. I think the beige alphas looked a lot more like a cool white in the renders. The yellow looks pretty accurate though. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Goodness. Goodbye, analog dreams. For now. I won't bother messing with redoing switches or anything. Although I did consider throwing those Nixies in here. But I think that is going to be their home. But I think I'm going to use my coreless CEM plate for that, or PCB for that, which is one of these. Oh yeah, this one is what I will solder them into eventually, but not today. Yes, I did get some. I got another hot swap PCB. That was one of the extras I got, as well as an extra plate. So I had this one with the board, and then picked up another one. This has per key LEDs as well as 7U bottom row, and some other options like split backspace and split right shift if I want. So a few more options, but yeah. But eventually I'm going to solder the Nixies into this. So we'll see. But for today, let me just take all of these. Don't want to scratch anything, but I'll just be careful. It'll be a little anachronistic with the switches, but you know what? That's okay. Actually, we'll just put Analog Dreams in here. I'm so nervous for that. I hope it's good. I've never used Nixies in mine. Well, what do you think? Should we do it now in a hot swap and just see? We could do that. I don't have a ton of soldering to do. It's just basically a little soldering kit that I want to practice with. So it's nothing. It's not a big project. Also, while we're talking, since to bring back up stream quality stuff, I also changed some of the brightness on the cameras. How does that appear to everyone? I know it's hard to gauge if things look correct or not, but it's slightly brighter than it was before. Because in some of the VODs, it seemed like things were looking a little dark to me when I would play them back to edit for YouTube and stuff. Looks good? Okay. I've been trying to move things around also so I don't want any like dead spots with lighting, and I also don't want any like hot spots, which unfortunately I do have one kind of here, but my face covers up most of it just because the table and my computer are reflecting one of the LEDs quite a bit, which is not like, it's not super diffused and it's not super big, so. Let's see. I was going through my calendar earlier today a little bit, trying to plan out some stream ideas. I kind of keep everything in a Kanban board for planning out build ideas and like boards that are coming and what components I want to use, and then I can kind of organize them by date and stuff like that to the best of my knowledge. And I realized that before too long, I think it's in May, the end of May, will actually be the first anniversary of when I started streaming. So I kind of want to do something for that. Whether that be a giveaway or something, I don't know yet. Haven't gotten a board in a hot minute. I'm excited for Pangea. Me too! It would look so good with orange on beige. But I know that's not out yet. So I might just, you know, do what everyone else is going to do and do kaiju or something. Or Mars Cadet, maybe. Mars Cadet could look really good on that. The silver and orange. But we'll see. I will see the orange in person and then judge from there. But, ooh, a Cappy 60, very nice. What? Apiary, thank you so much. How did the stratum go? I know I was in there chatting a little bit. What was your favorite combination? I'm very curious. Thank you for the follows. Yego and Omahadad Games. Thank you, thank you. We are taking a look at GMK Gorp. As soon as I take... well, you have looked at it a little bit, but I'm going to put it onto this F1 as soon as I take the keycaps off. Medium gasket, brass plate, no bottom gasket, brass weight, ochre top. I love the ochre top. I don't have it on right now. I actually have the basalt blue on mine still. But I took the most pictures with the ochre red. It was lovely. Yeah, the medium gaskets, I could see those being really nice with a harder plate. All I had was the PC plate. So I ended up preferring some of the harder gaskets for the most part. But yeah. Ooh, that sounds awesome. What was your favorite keycaps to pair with the ochre top? I ended up... Expo looks really good with it, but I also really enjoyed Deep Field. And Clodney. I regret promising to get this back by Friday. Right? I was very surprised. Thankfully, I've had mine for a week at this point, but I am sending mine to Jay at Prototypist tomorrow. So I need to tear it back down and pack everything up nicely. I feel like Cafe would go so hard. Expo, yeah. Yeah, Expo's nice with the brownish red for sure. Put on tiramisu. Welcome back, Doomsday. Let me see. Let me get some dust out of here. Yeah, it's it's a nice board. Y'all, Doomsday, y'all did a good job. You should be proud. Tiramisu is good, but I feel Cafe would be better. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, please be proud. Excellent board. Yeah. I know you didn't get to go to the Novel Keys meetup this year, Marcia, but it was really fun chatting with them too. Getting to hear all the little design insights and stuff with them at the meetup and trying things out. I love too the little flex brick tester that you had at the meetup. That was like the kind of the big leaves, and you could like see exactly how much each one was compressing and compare them together. Not jealous. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I won't be going to the Novel Keys meetup this year, so... I was at the GMK meetup, my boss. The West Virginia meetup. Oh, very cool. Yeah. Both of missed. Yeah, I can't go to Novel Keys this year. It's my kid's birthday. The date switcheroo. I will be at KeyCon, but not at the Novel Keys meetup. Thank you for the nice words, Chuck. So let's see. The normal alphas. Let's zoom in here. This is pretty close to L9. It's a little bit... I can't zoom in on that one right now, but it's a little bit lighter. So I'm wondering if it might be nicer to see a little bit more contrast with the alt alphas. Let's see. Let me switch back. It's kind of hard to tell with so many colorful... all the colorful switches. So this one is a little more tonally consistent with L9. This one is a little warmer. A much warmer beige. Yeah, certified authentic GMK. This is the I mean, it was worse. I did a little bit of cleanup. This was the most scrambled GMK I've gotten in a long time. Wild. See you there. Oh, you're going to be there. Very cool. I will see you there, Chuck. Yeah, we're taking the family. We're spending multiple days in Chicago because we love Chicago. And then I'll just run off on that Saturday and hang out at the meetup. So, the keycaps got a tinge more green in them. Maybe on camera. There's the slightest hint of it in person, but yeah, I can see that. Which does make sense considering what it's meant to go with. So I'm thinking we go alt alphas on this, to be honest. And just see how it is. Nice, that sounds like an excellent trip. It will be excellent. We will be taking the train, which is always fun. Taking the train from West Michigan into Chicago. I'm so damn salty we don't have access to rail. I have always been a train guy. And really enjoy them. The visiting Europe last year ruined me. Granted, I was only in Europe for what, 10 days? Something like that. But we went to Amsterdam and Paris. And it ruined me. Everything is so nice. At least when it comes to transit, I know every place has problems. But the Netherlands especially. Whew, man. Buses, light rail, trams, all this stuff. Walkability. Anyway. So yes, I'm very excited to take the train. Take Amtrak into the city. We tried something similar last year. Last year we also went to New York in January at like the coldest time of the year, which was very interesting. And for that we actually we took Amtrak as well. We live in West Michigan, but we took Amtrak, or we drove straight across the state through Ontario, again almost in a straight line, and then came out to Buffalo, New York. Wait, what did I do wrong? Oh, there's no U. It's right there. and then took the train from Buffalo into New York City, which was quite a long trip. Yeah, Buffalo in the winter is brave. It was interesting. I mean, I live in West Michigan, so I'm used to winter. We get a lot of lake effect stuff off Lake Michigan. But yeah, we had to excavate our car for a good 15 minutes out of the parking lot when we returned, which was interesting. But yeah, it's just the differences between... Oh, good, there are... Haha, they're good. There are barred F and J in the alt alphas. I was a little worried. I'm going to change my E to EP here. What was I saying? Anyway, the differences between like Amtrak and rail elsewhere, just because like so much of the American rail network has been taken over by freight, which does largely take precedence over passenger rail because a lot of them share the same rail networks. And so that can really slow things down, potentially. I did some research on it after the fact because I was trying to compare some stuff with Amtrak and Eurostar. Because then we also took Eurostar, which, it's no, Japanese bullet train or anything, but like taking the train from Amsterdam to Paris was a breeze and quite fast. Anyway, I could blather on for a long time, but any chance that I get to actually patronize American Rail, I will do it. Because I don't want it to disappear. Nice. Okay. Oh, I do need my F row. You're really convincing me to take the train? Hey, it's really nice. Granted, fair warning, we don't leave from Grand Rapids because there's only one train that leaves for Chicago, and it leaves at 6 a.m. So we're going to Kalamazoo. What am I doing? I'm all over the place with these keycaps. Kalamazoo has multiple options. So we go to Kalamazoo, which is only an hour away. There we go. So not bad at all. Okay, so what have we got for some of our options here? So many nice things. Caps lock. Got that. I think the blue arrows were only in the other kits, so we'll use these. Shark attack! Welcome, Shark. How did your stream go? Want to bring your car, but your petrified's going to break down 3 hours from home? Yeah, that's not a great feeling. And just like not having to park in the city is so nice. Good. Yes. The full GMK experience indeed. I could tell by how the box was bulging that it was gonna be the real deal. Here, let me get something else playing here. Come on now. There we go. Is that a 7? It is indeed. And Evan actually built this for me. The designer of these keycaps built this one for me, which is fantastic. Let's see. Print, scroll, pause. was. Mango! Welcome. How you doing? Hi, Shark and Shark's friends. And Apiary and Apiary's friends. It's true. Everybody's joining in the fun. Let's see. Insert home. Page up. Let's see. I think we want to delete. And page down. All right, so we are using the 6.25. So we'll go ahead and throw these in, unless we want to use, I want to use, actually I'll throw them in the middle ones. And so if we do Alt, there's my other Alt, flew over there. Alt. And I'm trying to remember one thing about this. Oh, goodness, excuse me. So if we do that, super control, and I think, is there a function with this size, or is it just menu? Just menu, I think. And put some Gorp in there. And backspace. The alphas are the alt alphas from Gorp. The normal alphas felt a little too samey, but there's enough. I mean, like, I didn't mind that at all with like Analog Dreams because it was the same color. There's enough of a difference that I decided not to be that matchy-matchy and kind of add a little bit of extra contrast. Let's see, a little bit more there. They're definitely warmer. There's more yellow in the alt alphas. I may not end up keeping Gorp on here as I'm looking at it, but we'll see. We will see. So we've got some, let me finish taking all this off. I think it might actually do better on something to accentuate its colors. Either a green or a blue that could really go with this, some kind of teal. Or a nice silver. I've seen some really nice silver builds recently. And I'm wondering if that may be... Oh, the music isn't playing? Oh, I didn't add... I haven't used this angle in so long. There, how's that? I haven't used this angle in so long that it predates me adding the music source in OBS. Thank you, Shark. A lot more interesting than the base alphas. In this context, I would agree. So we do have some nice options here. We could do, I think I want to do blue. Could either do like the rope and the carabiner, or I do love the ISO enter as well with the Gorp sign, like a trail sign. It's very nice. I do love when set designers give the ISO enter a little more attention, not just like slapped on from something else. but it has its own identity, kind of. All right, we'll throw our little Gorp bags down here. And now we could do, well, that's not row 1. Our row 1 options. I feel like we should do a blue Evan head. Why didn't I get this? Tab. Tab. I think we'll do... Let me set these aside. Oh, goodness. Navid, welcome. Hello. We are taking a look at Gorp right now. That is a lot of fun. I think now, with the novelties that are made available, I think it would be really fun to put this on a 65 at some point, because we got a lot of, you know, fun macro stuff going on. I think these are all row 4. But yeah, I could fill out a couple things with that. That's really fun. Oh, Eisenheim. These are the alt alphas. Here, let me show you. In true GMK fashion, here are the stock alphas. Just as an example. There you go. So there's the alt, and there's the standard base kit. I thought these were a little too samey. Well, too same without with enough of a difference that bothered me. If it had been exactly the same, it would have been okay, but I wanted something with a little bit more contrast to it. 7 stream streak. Thank you, Mango. I know I don't have anything fancy like getting stamps and stuff, so I appreciate you coming back. I actually am going to reorganize some of these real quick because now it's bothering me as I'm looking at it. I can't leave it a mess. ESD. FG. C down here. CXCV. And a 3 stream streak from Shark. Thank you. Thank you for the follow, Big Bezel Boy. Is that a bezel in your pocket? Or are you just happy to come into the stream? C, V, B, and M. There we go. AS and M. Okay. Now I saw J. There it is. Everything is coming together. Beautiful. Looking at the Stratum product page, like that meme of Wolverine looking at a framed photo. Well, Nana, why do that when you can see the real thing right now? Wow. Gaze upon its majesty. Side profile. Asshole. Listen. Listen, Shark, okay? It was very simple. Mike was streaming. He said, I'm sending out prototypes to Alex, Diego. Everybody's getting one. So I wrote, everyone? and weaseled my way into getting a prototype as well. That was it. Temporary asshole. That's true. No, I need one all the time. It's true. I don't get to keep it, Chuck. I'm sending this out to Jay tomorrow. Have I been using it? Yes, I have. Here, we'll move Gorp aside for a moment. But you know what? I bet Gorp would look really killer on the green stratum top. Shipping to Jay. Thankfully, I don't have to pay for it. And I have lots and lots of packing materials to ensure it gets there safely. Many layers of bubble wrap, sheets of foam, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, thankfully, yeah, the Novel Keys is front in the bill for that. So, the GMK set, how do you find it? I love it. Expo is one of my all-time favorites. And I have not had any issues with the UV print coming off. I've never had any issues with GMK UV print. Although part of me is like, what if and eventually that does happen? I wish I could get a backup set to have because I love Expo so much. This is going onto my Cloud 9 when it comes. That is the plan. The Expo. Have I been using it? I think I already read that. Is the LED strip visible in normal light conditions? I mean, stream is not a normal light condition, but can you see that? Yeah, see that little bit of light? So yeah, you can. It is visible. And even more so with the lights off. My camera doesn't know what to do. Yes. €800 for the Stratum. Yeah, I know there's multiple configurations. The cheapest one is around 600 USD, I think, and then you can add on things like copper weights and stuff, and that's gonna rack it up. But you know, if this one is a success, maybe they'll be able to offer some more affordable options, projects in the future. But I agree, it is expensive. The amount of engineering that went into it, though, I can see the value in that, and you can see where the money went, I guess, in terms of manufacturing. Not to mention that, as Mike himself said on stream this morning, like raw material prices are going up, and he had just gotten an email from some manufacturers like everything's getting more expensive. So I understand, but that's not to say that it is not a very expensive board. I'm not going to be buying one as much as I would like to. It is outside of my personal price range, which is why I'm very excited that I did get to try it out. But yeah, cool board, too steep for me. Yeah, I wish that I'd been able to get it over to you to actually try out Masters, but yeah. What brand is my hat? The hat was made by Weld Manufacturing. This, though, it was designed by a studio called Invisible Creature, which is the Mummy Cyclops, which is also the shirt that I'm wearing right now. It's a two-brother design studio. They both used to be near Seattle. Now I think one lives somewhere else, but they're still working together. I wonder if too steep for me will be my mantra for the next few months. Yeah, it's hard to say. I've already got multiple boards on the way, so I think I'm good for now. But we'll see. Didn't know that was an option. I might have missed what that was referring to, Masters. But anyway, Wanted to ask, where do you get your Mil-Max sockets? I have never Mil-Maxed yet. When I get some, I will probably get them from like Divinity. I am very new to soldering, and we'll actually do a little soldering practice here shortly. But I have yet to Mil-Max anything. Glad I picked up Gorp. It looks so good. It really does. Oh, you said you wanted to let me use the board. Oh, okay, I see. Yes, sorry. I thought about it and then forgot to like trying to meet up with you so that you could actually try it out, but now it will need to be packed. I do like the coating on the F1, like but it does collect dust in a weird way sometimes. I want to get an anodized one at some point. I think that would be really cool. Anyway. Let me turn off some greeblies here. Bro's gonna rub it straight out. Yeah. No, I just got like some like a little bit of schmutz on there. It's not a scratch or anything, thank goodness, but run cam. Just to get a little bit of. Actually, I should tuck some other things away. I got too many boards on my desk right now. There we go. I could do it, hold it at the same angle. Evan always holds his at a very specific angle in his thumbnails, I feel like. There we go. That is lovely. Yeah, I think the alt alphas were the way to go on this. I will, if I put this onto something that more accentuates the green or the blue, or like silver or polycarbonate or something like that, I will probably go back to normal alphas. But I think on this beige, alt is the way to go. Sweet. All right. Hello, Mal. Welcome. I like Markerton's mix. Yeah, I did a good job. A lot of people have been doing a good job with this. What I think would really look good on would be the. I have a frog that, well, I built it briefly, but then I needed to put it away. But the Frog 8K or TKL 8K that I have for a client build, I think that Gorp would look really hot on that. So, might have to give that a go, but I didn't have time to do a whole complete build and do some soldering practice this evening. But I do like this quite a bit. I'll need to find a proper home for it. So we'll see if something like that can materialize. Maybe whatever the new Alex and Bowl 60% project is that I saw. Alex just did a little look at the latest prototype on his Instagram. Looks pretty good. Got a little bit of a cherry lip. I like that a lot. Yeah, it looks cool. All right. Let me get a couple things set up. Let me stow the stratum away so that no errant anything will hit it and risk anything. But yeah, let me get some stuff plugged in, and let's see. I'll do it on stream. I don't need to put the be back soon on it. We'll see. We'll do it live. We'll get my soldering stuff out here. That over there. Move this over here. Move the stratum somewhere safe. Also, I am keeping fingers underneath it just in case, but I am only holding it by the top case right now. These are pretty strong magnets, just in case you're wondering. Same desk mat. Love Lamps Transit desk mat. Since we were talking about my love of trains and public transit earlier, I love the transit desk mat. And I don't feel so bad when it gets little smudgies on it and like wrist grease and stuff. It adds to the charm, right? Adds to the authenticity. All right, so let me move some stuff. Move my keycaps over here as I bump the camera. Put my PCBs away. And store Gorp in here for the time being. All right, and that's my box for the stratum over there. Far away from the soldering. Hello, Frederick. Welcome. Bull just pinged. Only the Millennium Editions will ship before his trip. Boo! Bull! I mean, he's got a lot to do. Now I gotta look at Discord real quick. Let's see. All safe and sound. Everything's looking fantastic. Oh yeah, he does have to QC each and every one, so I can see that taking a good chunk of time. Okay. Yeah, so many to go through. Exactly. So let's get out our stuff. Soldering time. I'll just continue to be a Novel Keys shill. And here's my Novel Keys heat-proof desk mat. And so what we're going to work on is a little soldering kit. I did a test on this already, briefly. This is like a little Simon game, essentially, like a memory game with 4 buttons. Shilling got you a proto, bro. Keep going. That's true. That's true. And I went ahead and have already done one test when I was testing out my equipment, as you can see here. A little too much solder on these. They're a little blobby. Right there. Not quite the conical volcano that you're typically going for with soldering. But, you know, I'm learning, and all experience is good experience. So, we'll keep working on this. We got some parts. We got some batteries. We got whatever the hell this is. So the first thing that we put in was a resistor. A 10K resistor is what we put in right there. I like how it informs you like how to do one thing at a time, and then it's like continue with the rest of the board, which is funny. Anyway, like cupcakes, there's never too much frosting or solder unless you are diabetic. Does solder affect diabetic folks too? Let's joke. So we'll just sort a couple things up here. We got some extra parts. Let me go ahead and get my You actually cannot become a keyboard streamer unless you get one of these, I've learned. So, got my fan. And we will plug that in over here. Let's see, I believe that goes there. Let me double check that it's working. Yes, indeed. And the iron. When I actually start soldering keyboards, I'll need to find better ways to store a lot of this. Let's see, we'll keep this over here, perhaps. I have, which is maybe not the safest thing, but I have a, well, that is like really pulling. There we go, I think it's okay. A power strip dangling right here to plug all this stuff into. There we go. And get our buddy and our iron and plug it in. All right, let's see. I think I need to swap. I might actually need to swap away from the shoulder camera just to save on outlets at the moment. Let me do that. Hold, please. There we go. Hello, Mikey. Just let me slide all this down a little bit. And give myself more space on the right side here. Okay, let's see how this goes. Let's start heating up. I think this is set to where I left it before. It heats up so fast. Like it's, I don't know if you can see this, like the numbers going up. Like it's already up to 370. That's wild. This is in Fahrenheit, by the way. So let's see. So we put in our first resistor. And we already, trimmed it, soldered it. Oh, solder would be good. Right? It's right in the name. Got a little solder spool. Why is there only... Why is there only an up button? I used mine for the first time last night, and I was like, how do you turn it down? Mine is a dial. It doesn't have buttons. You have to like turn the dial and then press the dial to lock in your choice. Ooh, a little MCP maybe? What else we got? Little clips. Oh, these must be for the battery, to hold the batteries in, I'm guessing. Some screws. Let's put these on a screw tray until we need them. We got some lights. Get the batteries out of here. Won't need those till closer to the end. Whatever that is. There's another light. Another doohickey. I don't know what any of this is. These things. A couple more resistors. And these might be like a standoff or something, kind of looks like. That reminds me, Drones, do you know if that solder icon can be set to Celsius. I don't know. I don't know if it's like regional based on where you bought it, what the temperature is set to. I can feel the heat coming off that. It's a good question. That very well may be able to in the instruction book, but I have that elsewhere at the moment. The solder roller, I think I got the roller off of Mouser when I bought my solder and a couple other little bits. And I got my snippers from Mouser too. Yeah, so it has a nice little handle. And then the spool, and then you can feed your solder through this little guiding hole, essentially. And then the whole spool can just like, well, now it's not actually going to do it. You can, on hot things, you can just reload it like toilet paper, essentially, in through the back, really easily. It has a little ridge there, which is what I was having trouble getting over the first time. Got yours at Micro Center. Nice. Any reason not to get something at Amazon? Hello, Frank. Welcome. You're just in time for some very poor soldering. I've learned anything I know from watching Frank solder and desolder things. So please don't take that as a reflection on your skills, because I'm just learning. This is a little kit to make like a little Simon game. Like a little memory button game. So I have this, and I have another little LED Tetris kind of thing. And so these are my learning kits. And then I've also got like I've got a Skillet 60 and some other stuff too, to start getting into keyboards. And then I'm gonna move on to actually soldering keyboards that I care about. Slowly but surely. But it's been a little bit slow in like the new builds department, so I thought I would get this done. Maybe I should get one? No, maybe. But we're gonna give it a go after I see what this ping was here. Okay, nothing important. So we've already put in one of the resistors. We did that. Oh, this was like for how to do your first component, which we did. Snip it off. Continue with the bottom of the board. Now that you've successfully soldered in the resistor, use the same method to place and solder the rest of the components. Steps highlighted with a yellow warning triangle represent a polarized component. Pay special attention to the component's markings indicating how to place it on the board. Ah, yes, I do remember that from when I did my very first soldering project, which was this ornament. As you can see, lovely LEDs. And yeah, there was definitely polarization we had to keep in mind for the resistors on this one and stuff like that. Yep, I did. My local makerspace did a workshop on soldering in December, and so I went and made this just to get my feet wet a little bit. You actually just got another fidget spinner kit. Ooh, are you gonna stream it? So next up, decoupling cap, insert the capacitors, flip the board over, and solder. So these two don't matter which way they go. These are not polarized. I know in a lot of the polarized stuff, though, there's often one leg longer than the other, and that helps you know which way it goes, like in the case of these LEDs. So far, I've learned to not solder with lead-free solder. Yeah, this is lead. I use lead-free at the makerspace thing, and it just takes too long. It takes too long to flow. So I was like, to hell with it. I got a good sucker. I'm just gonna go for the lead stuff. All right, so let's put these in. See if we can do both at once, perhaps. All right, so we put it in and we bend the legs, right? Yeah. So that it stays. Actually, we'll need to do one at a time. All right. So let me zoom in and y'all can judge me. Also, you'll have to let me know if the fan gets too loud or anything, because the mic is pointing in a direction not too far off. So here we go. That one's not working so well yet. I need to... I don't know if I'm heating the pad wrong. It's globbing in the wrong place. Let me try that one again. Once you're done with melting the solder onto the component, do not take off the soldering iron immediately. Oh, okay. Good to know. Take the solder off first. After a second or two, take the iron off. Good. I'll do that. It's too big, but it worked. It's too globby, but you were exactly right. And I didn't bridge between them, which is also good. But at this stage, I'm just glad to get it on there. I am not concerned about nicely shaped volcanoes at this point. Thank you. That's a great tip, Frank. Just do a little snippy snip here. And that one went somewhere. I heard it. I'm going to do the next one. Don't snip if you can help it until the build is done. Oh, interesting. Why is that? So in case you messed up the order, you can easily desolder and replace as needed. Ah, good tip. Yeah, I won't be doing any desoldering today because I haven't learned how to use my desolder gun yet. But that is good to know for sure. I guess it would matter more, like in the case of this where it has you building one side and then flipping, like you'd probably want to like, you would, well, I guess if they're bent, it wouldn't really poke out too much in order to flip and get some kind of steadiness. But anyway. But sometimes, yes, the build forces you to cut the excess, but yeah, only cut when needed. Obviously not really useful for keyboard build, but yeah. Okay, good to know. I appreciate that. Can I flow into your arms? There we go. That one worked out better. All right, so I won't snip anything yet. But there's our next one. Yeah, it's very interesting than soldering a switch pin, which is going to remain straight, because with these, like you having to bend the legs out. Oh, come on, focus. I believe in you. Bending the legs like it naturally kind of follows the path of the leg. which is a little bit of a different edge case, or not an edge case, a different case than the typical straight up and down pyramid that you're going for with a keyboard build, right? Yes, tell me. What do I do? If I want to keep them straight, I guess it doesn't matter because this is like not a pretty thing, but you can bend one leg to keep it in place, solder the other pin straight. Okay. Maybe we'll try that with a future thing here. All right. So we got that. Move this a little bit so it's not the focal point here. I like doing that for aesthetic reasons. Oh yeah, straighten the other leg, then solder that to make the leg straight. Oh, okay. No, I could see that being nice to have it all nice and neat. Okay. So now the microcontroller. Looking at the bottom of the board, insert the microcontroller. Make sure the notch on the chip aligns with the white silk screen on the board. Okay, so like that. Flip the board over, then begin to solder. Now this is a lot of pins. There we go. But this one, I'm assuming no bending is done. Now, how do I do this without accidentally bridging something? I'm curious about, because this is a lot. We do a lot of things for this reason. I'm okay with it, indeed. Like that's a lot of pins. So I'll need to be careful. You do it carefully. Exactly. All right. All right, I think I need to change the music. Let's do... Oh, come on. Let's do... This may be where we screw up and end the night early, but we'll see. Ooh. That one might have been perfect. Look at that. Look at that little buddy. Oh, come on. Focus. Look at that little cone of greatness. Yeah, you gotta be real careful on these. They're so close together. All right, we'll see if we can keep this streak. I'll try not to get in the way with my head. That one didn't work as well. Perhaps on this perfect solder joint. Mixed time for me. I'll keep the stream up, but I probably won't be able to hear it. Well, thank you, Masters. I really appreciate it, as always. There we go. Got a second one. That one just hung on to the soldering iron. Let's try that one again. How is the fan volume? Is it too much? Because I could also mute myself while I'm doing this. It's chill? Okay. Maybe a little bit of a little white noise background. This fan is doing a great job. I cannot smell any of this, which is really encouraging. What's going on here? No, those are fine. It didn't seem to be heating up the same way. Aha! Got another one. I realize this is not the most compelling viewing, but as we get it going, speeding things up, I might need to do what like Evan does and like watch a YouTube video or something while I'm soldering. But at least for other people, maybe this will be a nice educational piece. I think I'm getting the hang of it a little bit. There's some of the rhythm. Try not to cover up too much with my head. If I had the outlets, I would be running the shoulder cam, but I just having to plug in both of these things right near my desk. There just aren't outlets available. There we go. I'm seeing the visual signs of what to look for, too, of as it's flowing and when to pull away. All right. One row. Some are a little less than others, but I think I can see some of them are a little globbier than others, but I think we've got good coverage on this first row of pins. If others who know more than me have any input on whether that's okay or not. None of them are touching that I can tell. So I think we're good there in terms of like, oh, focus, focus, focus. Don't focus on that. Focus here. Like it's not bridging as far as I can tell between anything. So I think it really wants to focus on the words, Simon says. But I think we are golden on that side of the microcontroller. So let's see if we can keep this momentum going with the other side. Over here. Actually, I need a drink. Woo! As if I don't hunch over in my day-to-day life as much or enough already. And now I'm just like trying to do surgery on small electronics. Man, this is fun though. This opens up a lot of possibilities beyond keyboards for me too. I'm really excited to like, I don't know, get into like modding handhelds and stuff too. That would be really fun. Like I even have parts. I have a Game Boy Advance that my buddy Alex modded for me, and I've wanted to switch out some of the parts, and this opens up more possibilities for me to do some of that for myself as well. So exciting stuff. All right, let's do the second row of pins. Actually, let me check something over here on my computer very quickly. Just to see what... Oh, this is all in emails from the same thing. Okay, I don't need any of this. I just wanted to make sure that it was not something vital. All right. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves while I'm doing this. I will try to participate if I can. Let us gaze upon it. What do we think? I think we're good. I don't see, again, I don't see any bridging between pins as far as I can tell. We think you're really good. Well, thank you, Frederick. I think you are really good. I got a bunch of little pyramid buddies. We might be in the clear on this microcontroller. Whoa, excuse me. Ginger soda coming back with a vengeance. Nice. Love that. Let's see. So we got... Here we go. Let me orient it the correct way according to the instructions. Things are looking good. And then the buzzer. I'll insert the buzzer, which I think is... this? No, wait, is it? Yes, it has to be this. The plus on the buzzer should align with the white plus on the board. Okay. Is there a plus on this? There is a little plus right there, so I'm guessing that means it needs to go like so. Is the notch on the right side? Of the buzzer? If you mean on the microcontroller, yes, the notch is on the right side. Yeah, which is nice too because it only fit that way as well because of the number of pins on it. As you can see, there's one less pin on this side. So the way it fit through, it could only go in one way. Thank you for having me double check though, but yes, the notch is in there correctly. I appreciate the double check. So the buzzer, flip the board over and solder into place. I feel like I need to maybe I could use this block of foam here. Oh yeah, to help prop up this side just so it's not flopping all over the place. Okay, get the buzzer in. And then maybe, well, I still won't trim anything. Frank advised against it, so we'll see. All right, let's solder in. Don't forget the fume extraction. That bottom pin seems a little light on solder. Let's see if we can reflow that a tad. Whoa. It's still got a weird little fling on it. Let's see if we can... There we go. Just had to bring it down to meet the rest of it. All right. Buzzer. All right, what's next? Now work on the top of the board. Highlighted components are polarized, yes. LEDs, here, 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 here. We should be able to at least get through a couple more steps, I think. I do still have a hard out at the usual time, but then we can I can wrap up this project another time. Maybe I'll try for a lunch stream tomorrow again and see how that goes. I can still smell some stuff. I'm gonna turn the fan back on. Let's see. LEDs, battery clips. So the battery clips and the slide switches. Oh, to turn it on. Sure. Power and sound are separate. Keep the iron tip away. Plastic melts easily. Yeah, no shit. And then final assembly. Hand tighten the screws and standoffs. Okay. Let's see what we can get through in the intervening time here. LEDs. So these are polarized. Insert the 4 LEDs into the front of the board. Each LED has a short leg and a long leg. The short leg goes into the negative place. And so negative is... Oh, I'm looking at the wrong side. Top. I see. So short leg is negative. Let me go ahead and bend these. Or at least bend one on each. I'll do it the Frank way. And we'll bend... Whoops. I'll screw that up a little bit. It's okay. We're good. I remember having to get all these the right way on the ornament project as well. A lot of LEDs on that one. Okay, so now let's do each of the straight legs. And then we can do the straighten and solder on the other ones. Thumbs up. Got a little bit weird on some of that, but you know. Alright, so now straighten these out. And solder the other leg. Maybe bend this one off a little bit just to stay out of the way. Alright, then let's give this a try. Let's see, how about from this angle? Got a little something on myself that time. Woo. Oh, it's flux. You. Ouch. Be careful out there, kids. There we go. All good. I'm glad I got the chisel tip, though, on this soldering iron. Because it definitely helps get flat against pins and stuff, and wires. More surface contact, you know? Here we go. LEDs. That got a little bit messier, but it did work out. LEDs soldered in. Let's see. We got the battery clips. I'm doing it, Shark. Look. I soldered in these LEDs. This microcontroller, some resistors, the buzzer. Excuse me. Thank you. I had only done a little bit of practicing, so I'm glad that things are actually working. Let's see, how much time do we have left? Just a few minutes. So the switches go here. Looks like they're identical in function. Looking at the top, insert switches, keep the iron tip away, plastic melts easily, flip over. Yeah, I realize that. But it says it is... Oh, these aren't polarized, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter which way they go. So let's start them in the off position, shall we? That makes sense to me. Lead poisoning so soon? Listen. I am just trying to live my best 17th century life. Maybe I will go ahead and snip some of these LEDs off now that they're taken care of. But this time I could actually hold on to it. There we go. Not super flush, but I think enough because there's a decent amount of space around this thing, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, I think what we'll do is we'll solder in our switches and then call it a night. And I will maybe wrap this up over lunch tomorrow. I'll try to stream it, we'll see. We'll see what tomorrow holds as far as work responsibilities. I only got too much solder on it, but I don't care. There we go. Leave that on for a sec, just in case there's any errant fumes. But I think our switches up here, he's got a little bit more blobby, as you can see, but they are longer, a little bit longer pins sticking. Oh, come on. As long as it's not too wiggly. I'm just checking them to see if they're gonna... I think they're in there. I might add a little bit more solder to one of these. Yeah, that looks better to me. Nice! Good progress for today. Let me turn this off. Did the music end? I didn't even notice. Oh wow, we listened to that whole album, huh? Okay. Jeez. Let's do that. Well, thank you, Shark. I really appreciate that. I think that's a good place to stop for the night. There's our LEDs. And so eventually, this is going to go over the top of it. So the lights are going to show up through here. And I'm guessing this is even like a little electrocapacitive, huh? Because it's got these rings around to know when the buttons are when these are being pressed. So this is almost like a keyboard in a way, right? Is that kind of the idea? I'm not an electric guy, so I don't know 100%. But like when the buttons are pressed down, rings. It's not a spring, so it's not like Topra or something. But it's like, that's what's registering the button presses, I assume. Anyway, interesting stuff. So we'll finish off this build probably tomorrow, around noon Eastern or whenever I can get around to it. That's right, I'm a keyboard guy, I'm not an electric guy. And then they go into this housing that'll be screwed into standoffs. So I'm guessing the back may just kind of be sort of raw. I don't know for sure. We'll find out when we finish building. But let me turn off my soldering iron before I burn myself. Yeah, I might put that on my resume. I'm a keyboard guy, not an electric guy. But that's a great start. I'm really happy with that progress. The microcontroller was going to freak me out, but it ended up panning out nicely. Soon to be electric guy. Well, you know, the way the tech is going, I might go to school to become an electrician. We shall see. There's a student of mine that's an electrical engineering major, and she's always asking about my keyboards, and I'm like, girl, you should get into designing PCBs. Oh man, that'd be so cool. No, wait, they have, at the makerspace, they have a machine that can make PCBs that they got from Kendall? They haven't, when I was there in December, they had not tried using it yet, but they got a machine that can make PCBs. So that's interesting. Something worth looking into. They're also doing a workshop soon where you can make your own resin dice, and I really want to go, but I don't have time. I really want to make my own dice for D&D. At some point. That one's a recurring workshop, so another one will roll around, I'm sure, that I can attend, but we should do it sometime, Tyler. It'd be fun. The rest of my D&D group, most of them live in Holland and couldn't make it. I tried to talk them into doing it. But I gotta go. But I really appreciate everybody being here and watching me figure this out. Look at that! We'll get it fully functioning very soon. And then we can move on to other projects. But yeah, awesome. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Shark. Mango, what are you still doing here? What time is it for you? Isn't it like after like 1 a.m. or something? I don't understand time. 1:30, I thought so. Goodness sakes, Mango. Be nice to Mango means you be nice to Mango too. Who's streaming? Anybody? Alex. All right, we'll raid Alex. You take a good nap after work tomorrow. Okay, fine. Let me, without burning myself. Absolutely, Eisenheim. Thank you for being here. We'll have more fun soldery streams in the future. But say hi to Alex for me. I'll pop in briefly. And everybody have a good night or whatever time it is for you. See you.